And also just like blatant racism. Like I thought we left that shit behind in like 20, like, really? I'm just like, how is that, how do you go online and you're being racist? Like how is that, are you not embarrassed? Do you not care about a digital footprint? Like what the f is wrong with people, genuinely? That's something I like seriously have like no tolerance for. Anything else you can say whatever, sure, but that's just like unhinged.
Hard like a bullet, flying too fast I couldn't catch it, hole in the casket. Oh,
we run rent free in these motherfuckers'
That's
heads.
what I'm saying.
Listen, first of all, K-pop, you doing nothing but black boy band shit, but your shit's corny. You can't f with B2K, you can't f with New Edition, you can't f with none of our shit. You can't f with the Jackson 5, you can't f with none of us. So it's all black shit that they're doing.
Hands off, Gabriella, Gabriella, hands off, Gabriella. Back
I try to tell myself sometimes that I'm like, it doesn't matter, and like what people say doesn't matter, but we're humans, and like if 1,000 people are like sending you death threats, it's like jarring, you know what I mean? Even if it's not gonna happen, like it doesn't mean anything. It's heavy and it's jarring.
Have you had that specific threat?
Yeah.
Yes, I think
so many.
This video is commentary and analysis based on publicly available discussions, social media clips, podcast, and audience reactions. It does not claim to know anyone's private intentions and is not intended to encourage hate or harassment toward any individual, artist, fandom, or community. Manon Bannerman, pronounced Mano, occupies a uniquely complicated position in pop culture right now. She is of Swiss Italian and Ghanaian descent, was raised in Switzerland, and is a member of the global girl group KATSEYE. Within that group, she is the only black member, and more broadly, she is one of a very small number of openly black artists operating within a K-pop adjacent system. That alone shapes how she is perceived, spoken about, and treated online long before any individual controversy enters the picture. Recently, Manon spoke openly about racist abuse she has been receiving online during a live stream that quickly went viral. Rather than approaching the topic indirectly, she addressed it head on, telling people to stop and making it clear that racism, regardless of platform or fandom, is wrong.
English is not my first language. How people just feel like it's okay to like say anything, and then they're like, they don't feel like these people are gonna see it. But people have access to the internet. Like everyone's on the internet. People read stuff. Like the shit you put out there, people see, and that's crazy, especially for like us. I'd say like we're all pretty young, and like making mistakes growing up is so normal and like part of character development, and like you need to fuck up to do right and learn stuff. Like when I think back when I was 19, the mistakes I made, I'm like, but thank God I made them, because now I know better. But growing, like, if sorry, I'm literally stuttering because I have such a hard time speaking English sometimes, but people just see everything and like judge everything you do while you grow up and while you're making those mistakes is so scary to me. That's why I always like will have so much love for the younger girlies in KATSEYE, because you live and you learn. We get shit for everything we do, but and also just like blatant racism. Like I thought we left that shit behind in like 20, like, really? I'm just like, how is that, how do you go online and you're being racist? Like how is that, are you not embarrassed? Do you not care about like digital footprint? Like what the f is wrong with people, genuinely? That's something I like seriously have like no tolerance for. Anything else you can say whatever, sure, but that's just like unhinged. And I think it has to be like said at some point that that's like ridiculous.
The moment resonated with many viewers precisely because it was direct and unfiltered. It wasn't framed as vague hate or generalized negativity, but as a specific response to racism targeted at her identity. This moment didn't exist in a vacuum. It came at a time when conversations about race, representation, and anti-blackness within K-pop spaces have been increasing rather than fading. Fans and critics alike have long pointed out the contradiction at the heart of the industry. K-pop regularly draws from black music traditions, fashion, dance styles, and slang, yet black artists themselves remain extremely rare, and black fans often report encountering racism or hostility within fandom spaces. Manon's experience fits into that broader pattern, which is why her comments struck a nerve far beyond her immediate fan base.
TikTok's a very scary place, because why did I just run across a KATSEYE fan page, and they made a post saying that thank God that Manon is half white because she wouldn't be this pretty if she wasn't. Like, are you okay?
Let's just say the quiet part out loud. Those girls giving anti-black for sure on Popstar Academy. Like, no tea, no shade. That was just, I clocked it as racism against Manon, because that's what it was.
That conversation intensified further yesterday after a viral post on X sparked a brief but telling spat over Manon wearing grills. The post suggested that people shouldn't claim black Americans lack culture because a girl from Switzerland is wearing grills, implying that African American culture is influential enough to reach globally. While some interpreted this as an affirmation of black American cultural impact, others pointed out an important oversight. Manon is not simply a girl from Switzerland. She is Swiss-Italian and Ghanaian, meaning she is a black woman whose cultural expression cannot be flattened into a purely European context. While that doesn't automatically make her part of African American culture specifically, it does place her within the broader black diaspora, a fact the framing of the post appeared to disregard. The tension here mirrors a growing strain of separatist rhetoric among some self-described foundational black Americans, where cultural ownership is increasingly policed along narrow national lines.
You look East African. Oh, really? Thanks. But I'm American. What's American? Do you not know American history? I mean, I do, but you look East African. That's fine, but I'm not East African. I'm American. But what has America ever done for you, though? What do that got to do with me being American? But your people come from Africa. They also come from Europe and America. But white people look at you as if you African, though. Okay, I'm American. But why would you want to be American, though? It's not a matter of want, okay? I am American. That's so crazy because there's people in Africa who look just like you. That is amazing. I am American. You hate being black.
Asking black Americans where they're from, and then not accepting our answer that we are from America, because our ancestors have been in America for the past 400 to 500 years. Our ancestors have fought in every war in this country. Our ancestors' blood, sweat, tears are in this soil. Our ancestors are buried in this soil. Our ancestor made it right or okay for your people to come over here and benefit here.
All the nouveau riche black millionaires who are athletes, what do? They go out and marry white and have children with white kids. Look at Doja Cat. Doja Cat don't even f with niggas like that. Okay? So those people do not marry black and keep their money in black communities. So don't count no money, because you ain't no billionaire. You ain't even a millionaire. You're not even a thousandaire. So don't talk about the money that black people make, because when black people make money, y'all have such a self-hating spirit. When you guys have money, you give your money to white people.
In this framework, blackness outside the U.S. is sometimes treated as culturally derivative rather than parallel, even when shared aesthetics, history, and exchange are involved. The reaction to Manon's grills illustrates how these debates can unintentionally reproduce exclusion, turning discussions about anti-blackness and cultural influence into arguments over who is permitted to embody what aspects of black culture, often at the expense of black people themselves, especially those in the diaspora.
So when you figure out why y'all motherfuckers are self-hating and realize that the reason why your self-hatredness is keeping you from even your motherfucking leader. Tariq Nasheed, his wife is half white and half Haitian. Even he didn't get a blue, black, chocolate, ooh, power to the people, sister.
Interestingly, several months before Manon's live stream, comedian Godfrey sparked controversy of his own when he spoke critically about racism in and around the K-pop industry. His comments drew strong reactions. Some listeners felt he was oversimplifying a vast, global industry or painting all fans and artists with the same brush. Others, particularly black fans of K-pop, felt he was articulating an uncomfortable truth they had seen play out repeatedly but struggled to name.
It's always
the fact that you would do that and clown black people.
That's what I'm saying.
But black folks ain't never done nothing to you.
And my thing is, you mad because you saying it in a language that we can understand, and then lying
Say
about
it so we know, so we can punch your
ass
in the mouth.
Stand on your 10 toes. That's what I'm saying.
It's always let's make fun of black people, but you on our dicks, motherfucker. I know a friend of mine, Hank. He goes to Asia to teach Asian swag. He's a sick
swag teacher?
Swag teacher. Swagger, but it's really a nigger teacher.
Yeah.
It's 2 double G's.
Yeah.
But he teaches them, and Hank is sick as fuck, and he's been doing it for years.
Black culture.
I mean, he speaks Japanese. Like, that's how much he goes. Yeah. So I saw him like a couple months ago. He teaches them, like he gets paid, like a couple black dudes go there to teach them their moves and shit.
Godfrey's argument wasn't focused on any single idol or company. Instead, he zoomed out to point at what he described as a systemic contradiction. Black culture being embraced while black people themselves are marginalized, exoticized, or excluded. While his delivery was undeniably blunt, the questions he raised lingered. If an industry benefits so heavily from black aesthetics and sound, why does it remain such a hostile or limiting environment for black artists themselves? Those questions resurfaced almost immediately when Manon spoke about her experiences. The contrast between her position, a young black woman navigating global pop stardom, and Godfrey's role, an outside cultural critic, is striking. Yet their points intersect in meaningful ways. One speaks from lived experience inside the system, the other critiques the system from the outside. Together, they form two sides of the same conversation. Godfrey continued expanding on these ideas in later discussions on his podcast, where he often talks about racism aimed at black people more broadly, including how it manifests in conversations about interracial relationships, desirability, and self-image. A recurring theme in those discussions is the idea that anti-black racism doesn't always come from overt hostility alone. It also shows up as internalized beliefs, including among black people themselves, shaped by centuries of messaging about whose beauty, culture, and humanity are seen as valuable.
The whole point of white supremacy is where you don't perceive blackness as beautiful, and that white supremacy in this country is 400 years. It affects everybody. I don't care how woke you are. Right. You think that is the first prize.
The NBA is really light skinned right now. It's very light skinned.
That's why they've been
I said because it came from traumatized dark skinned basketball players back in the day that didn't want their kids to look like that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because there's a lot of light skinned kids. Have you seen the basketball? They're all light skinned with broccoli heads, weird Drake faces,
and there's also the white women know where to go to scout out these.
But there's a lot of these dark skinned men back in the day.
They also have access.
Like a white woman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And then I've been at auditions, man. I've been at I remember when we would audition. We don't really audition like we used to anymore. It's weird. A little bit different. But when I would, you go to like Three of Us, or you go to Birdie Telsey, you go to all these big casting. So we would go House on 15th. We would go to these, and there would be like, you have your audition. This is one room. You all have the different areas,
and there's 8 of you.
I remember there'll be kid auditions. And I remember I would see some parents, it'd be a dark-skinned parent with her mixed child, and she would be feeling her, it was real weird. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck? She was like so happy that her kid was biracial. And there's a dark-skinned woman going.
When applied to the context of K-pop, this perspective adds another layer. Racism aimed at black K-pop artists doesn't arise solely because of fandom conflicts or isolated trolls. It's reinforced by a global hierarchy that already places blackness at a disadvantage. When that hierarchy goes unquestioned, attacking a black idol online can feel acceptable, even trivial to some people, because the broader culture has already taught them, implicitly or explicitly, that black people are are less deserving of empathy. This helps explain why Manon's presence alone provokes backlash in a way that non-black idols rarely experience. Her race is not incidental to the reaction, it is central to it. The policing of her appearance, tone, and legitimacy reflects discomfort with seeing blackness in a space that historically prefers it at a distance, admired, borrowed from, but not embodied.
It's actually quite annoying how performative K-pop stans are. And of course, this always has to do with anti-blackness and being racist to black people, because there is such a deep-rooted history of anti-blackness in Asian cultures. So unfortunately, I'm not surprised, but it's just hilarious when stans will call out a group for doing something, but then not call out the group that they stand for doing the exact thing, or other groups that do the exact thing, or the entire K-pop industry. How are you calling out one group from copying and stealing from an artist? How about the entire K-pop industry for consistently doing that with black artists and black people in general? And they want to call them out so they actually seem like they give a fuck. You don't care. This is why K-pop stans do not move me anymore, because this shit is so performative, and it's just, they're so hypocritical.
At the same time, it's important to approach this conversation carefully and fairly. Not all K-pop fans are racist. Many fans actively defend black idols, call out discriminatory behavior, and push for greater representation and accountability. Likewise, not all critiques of the K-pop industry accurately reflect its full complexity or the changes happening within it. Oversimplification can obscure meaningful progress and silence allies who are genuinely working for inclusion. But nuance does not erase patterns. When a black idol speaks up about racism and is immediately met with disbelief or dismissal, that pattern deserves attention. When discussions about race within K-pop consistently spark defensiveness rather than reflection, that too is revealing. And when black artists like Manon are forced to publicly demand basic respect simply to exist in their chosen field, it raises a deeper question about what global culture truly means. Seen through this lens, Manon's live stream becomes more than a single viral moment. It becomes a point of convergence for long-standing tensions between celebration and exclusion, visibility and vulnerability, appropriation and participation. It also highlights how racism against black people globally doesn't remain abstract or theoretical. It materializes in specific spaces, aimed at specific individuals, and carries real emotional consequences. In that sense, Godfrey's broader arguments about anti-blackness, self-hate, and cultural double standards aren't separate from Manon's experience. They help explain it. When blackness is simultaneously consumed and devalued, black artists are left to absorb the contradiction on a personal level. They become symbols of progress and targets of resentment at the same time. Ultimately, the situation surrounding Manon points to a larger truth. Racism aimed at black K-pop artists doesn't exist because of K-pop alone. It persists because global anti-blackness is still deeply embedded in how people see, judge, and interact with black people everywhere. Until that foundation is addressed, individuals like Manon will continue to shoulder a burden that extends far beyond music, choreography, or fandom drama. Her decision to speak up, plainly and publicly, disrupts that silence. Whether the industry or its audiences are willing to truly listen and change remains an open question.